Well, hello, beautiful people. Welcome to 3LG segment number 50. Almost to the end of the year. I can't even believe how fast 2022 has came and about went. For those of you who haven't already subscribed, you have time to do that. I appreciate it. Share, let somebody know about 3LG. I'm excited about what's coming up for 2023. I've already got my logo for the year, upcoming year. I'm just excited. Anytime I was doing work for the Lord, I'm excited. Um, this segment is almost connected to the previous segment. I wanted to reiterate how important it is for people that's not antisocial, but don't like to mess with a lot of folks. Okay, because I'm at that point in my life that I can't deal with a lot of people because it's just not healthy for me. Okay, I love people. I am a people person, but as I get older, it's massive crowds and personalities. I can't deal with it. I'm not able to cope. So this segment will help people that's in the same boat with me on that. With that being said, let's go ahead and begin. Today's segment is entitled Traveling Solo. Okay? It's quite amazing, showing just how good God has been and has blessed me in my life without me losing touch of reality, but showing an outpouring of strength and love and support, and favor. Yes, I had to make one of the hugest sacrifices of my life when I decided to convert. And up until this point right now in my life, it has cost me friendships, relationships, and situationships. Okay? For those that are familiar with those. I had to make the choice to literally travel this path by myself. Um, no active friendships, no mate, and no family. Yes, I have loved ones that are traveling as well, but they're not traveling with me. We are, however, destined for the same place, I hope. Our path might have crossed, but they're not adjoining. Okay? They may be parallel to my path, but they're not on the path with me. When you're on one accord with the loved one or loved ones, that means you all are working together to make it into heaven. That's when you're on the same path, okay? When you're working together. Everyone has their own life, their own pattern to follow. You are not responsible for them and vice versa. You can help uplift one another. You can pray for one another, but you can't make choices for one another. You can't. You're not responsible for the next person. At the end of the day, we all are responsible for our own lives. Let's break it down. Mates. Everybody want a mate, okay? So I'm going to start off with that. Divine order has been disrupted, period. That's why we have one parent homes. That's why people is co-parenting. That's why we have divorces, separations, and domestic violence cases, okay? Choosing to be celibate is a way of life. Choosing to be a parent is a choice in life. And sometimes, but really, it's not really a choice sometimes. Sometimes because of bad choices we made, that's how we become parents. However, choosing to be single is a choice. Choosing to be married is a choice in life. Choosing to be a type of sexuality is a way of life. But choosing to be a step parent or a stepchild or a single parent is not what we bargained for. It's not what we signed up for. But because of certain circumstances, that's when we have to make a choice, to do what we have to do to survive. Because we didn't or don't live according to God's plan, we are faced with these type of choices and decisions and life patterns. We have the choice to go through life trying to make other people happy, or to go through life making God happy. Sometimes you got to take the hardest road. It's not easy to take that road. Like I said, it's hard. It's not easy to make that choice to want to travel that road. Because 7 out of 10 times you'll lose your mate if you choose that Christian road over self-happiness. Okay? However, if your mate or your spouse and you both living for God, your paths are joined. But if your mate is just that, a mate, not married, not committed, you right where the enemy wants you. Choose God, honey, and see how long that mate stick around. When you pull the curtain on that pouch, honey, that's going to tell the story, okay? Many people won't commit to God because they can't stop fornicating. So they make that choice, to keep that mate and keep being lost in sin. I know it's hard. Trust me. I've been separated since June 2015. 28 days after saying I do. Which that shouldn't even count because it was over before it began. I truly wasn't ready for that marriage. And proof is in the pudding, okay? Since then, I've been alone, but I ain't been lonely. It's been almost 8 years, and I've done okay, but I haven't been innocent, honey. I have dibbled and dabbled in the sin boat, fornicating myself, letting lust lead me instead of the Lord. Not the whole time, but some of those times. But I've only dealt, since I've been separated, since 2015, I've only dealt on and off through some of those years with one person. That don't make it right. That does not make it right because I still committed a 2 in 1. But at some point, I had to say to myself, my relationship with God is way more important than a good piece of wood. Now, I'm just going to lay it out because that wood ain't going to get you into heaven. And that pouch, for you guys, that pouch ain't going to get you there either. Okay? So my advice to anyone that is weak when it comes to fornicate, pray every day. Keep yourself out of certain situations and don't allow yourself to be taken by sweet words, sweet gestures, and that outside appearance, honey, because your soul and your spiritual life is way more important than a few good times, okay? Now that's for real. My salvation, I'm telling you, is worth more to me than doing something like that. So I had to stop. And my advice to you, you need to stop too. Nobody's perfect. Like I said, I done told you, I ain't perfect. You know what I'm saying? But one thing is good. But me dealing with that one person, if anything was to come up, if anything was to happen, I know exactly who and when. Okay, that's more than I can say for a lot of people, because in an 8 year, in a 1 year run, some people is promiscuous for real. So I did good on that note, but that still doesn't make it right. It still was wrong, because I am a saved person and I supposed to thank God first, not that. Okay? This is why I choose to travel solo, because I ain't want no passengers that ain't ready to commit to me. You know, if you're smart, you would want the same thing for yourself, because don't deal with people that's, when you're doing sneaky links, you really are degrading yourself and cutting yourself short. If you can't deal with somebody that's willing to commit to you, then you don't need to be dealing with that person. Okay? And it doesn't take 5 to 10 years for someone to decide if you're special enough to marry. Okay? If you like being that sneaky link or that go-to, then you have bigger issues than I thought. Okay? Choose to travel alone until your king or your queen comes. Don't take shortcuts, honey. Don't settle. Don't expect more than you have to offer yourself, though. Because some people is way down here and they want somebody to fly in from the skies and come pick them up. No, honey, you have to bring to the table just like you expect brought to the table, okay? Because you're not more special than the next person. But remember to have self-love. Because when you do degrading stuff and you settle for less, that's saying something about you. But if you put God first, everything else will work itself out. But because we never, not everybody, but most of us have not followed divine order, that's why we have certain choices to make to get on the path that we need to be on. Okay, so I had to say that, working with mates first. Okay, understand when somebody just want to be a sneaky link, when somebody wants to be a boyfriend girlfriend. But when you get to a certain age, that boyfriend girlfriend stuff is old, honey. You either ready to marry me or move on. Now, if you at the point of your life you just want to date, then you do that. But that don't mean you opening your pouch or you giving out wood. That's not what that means. Okay? Not when you living for God. When you working for Satan, you do you. Okay? Let's move along to children. Okay? These are not really our children. Okay? They are lent to us by the way of God. Okay? We birth them, we teach them, we instill values in them, and we be that example to them. So when they get to that age of will and adulthood, they understand who they are, why they're here, and who God is. After they've reached that important phase in life, our job is done. Now, only your hard work will manifest or it will infect our offspring. Okay? You can be an encourager, an advisor, a counselor, a constant babysitter, whichever fits the bit. But you cannot shape an adult. They have already been molded. So you can't try to change an adult. That's where we go wrong. So if you bring them up a certain way, they're not going to change all of a sudden. And that, and sometimes because we haven't received a certain bringing up ourselves, we don't know how to bring our children up in the way that they should. We just know what we know. So a lot of us fall through the cracks. Like I have fallen through the cracks. I've done all I can do with my children. But as an adult, whatever I instilled or whatever has been passed off, that like I say, is either going to manifest or it's going to infect. And I can't live my life worrying about things after I've done my job. All I can do is pray and move on. Okay? We can't make a grown child do anything. How we develop bonds during their youth is what shapes the relationships as adults. If bonds were broken for whatever reason, that will show up in years to come. Ask me, I know, living proof, honey. Life is way too short. I can't undo bad choices, and you can't either. All I can do is move forward and hope for a transition. It's not one person's fault. It's choosing to travel solo, to keep my focus on God. All else will come together in time. Just keep God close. You can't try to raise grown-ups. Your job is over once they reach adulthood. So, honey, right now, my job is done. I'm choosing me, okay? God will lead me in the path I need to go on. And he will lead you if you just trust in him. Life too short to be worried, honey, okay? Only thing left to do is love, pray, spend quality time when you can and permit it. But in situations of rarity, you have to just keep your distance and let go and let God. Okay? Moving on to the next thing. Friendships. Whew. Oh boy. I travel solo. I love people. I love different personalities. I love the company of great people. But I feel safer without them. There are people I consider friends, but our friendship is not active, meaning we don't go places, we don't talk often, we don't buy each other things, we don't visit one another, but we love one another. It's hard to explain. I really can't explain it, but it's a safe place for me to travel solo. That way I can't expect, they can't expect, and we both aren't pulling and working to sustain a friendship. You know what I'm saying? It just is, because I can name like 5 people right now. Our friendship is not active, meaning like I said, we're not doing all these things together, but the love is there. The love is there because we got a history, and it's just, the love is just there. Most people would say, y'all ain't really friends. And I'll say, mind your business. Because what you call a friend might be different from my view of friendship. All I can say, I love them. The famous few. I can love on many, but only, and I say only, can I genuinely love people, genuinely love meaning like, I love you as a person, as a human being, as a colleague or whatever, but to genuinely love, like will lay down my life for, I can't say that about everybody. Okay? Everybody that you love ain't necessarily your friend though. That's why I say that. You may love the way that person treats you. You may love the way that person and you get along. You may love the way, that person stands up for you, stuff like that. But that don't make them your friend. But you still must love the person, not their ways. God said to love your neighbor as yourself. Now, he did say that, okay? I'm weird like that. I'm a loner. I love to visit older people because I learn from them. Some I don't visit, but I still love them. It's a reason I don't, but the love is still there. I learned a lot about friendships over the last 10 years. I've come to terms that God knows that I'm at the best without active friends. That's why I travel solo. Okay? When God ready for me to start actively being a friend to my neighbor is after he has strengthened me enough to deal with people. Because I can't take fake people. I can't take people that's thinking everything is always about them. So he know I ain't ready to deal with certain things that as a friend you have to deal with. So it's good for me not to have active friends right now. For real. But for now, respect the process, okay? I am traveling solo in the strength of God. And when God sees fit for me to travel differently, then I will. Traveling solo is a safe zone for me. You know what I'm saying? I can visit friend zones, acquaintances, work relationships, family functions without committing. That's why I travel solo. My work crew, I love them too, but we all ain't friends. We have an understanding, we have respect, I know you, you know me. We spend 10 to 12 hours together, but a day together, but we ain't necessarily friends. We just cool. Those that despise me, I know them all too. I'm cool with that. You stay in my prayers alongside everybody else. Because I'm trying to get into heaven, honey. And not even folks like you gonna keep me from them gates, okay? I'm still gonna smile. I'm still gonna love you. Just call on the Lord is what we have to do. When you traveling solo, you just got to help the Lord you just got to have the Lord to lead you and guide you and keep that armor of God on you all the time. So when I choose to work on relationships and friendships, I will be making the best choices because I have God on my side. Okay? Because you can fool a lot of people, but you can't fool God. Go to him about certain problems and ask God to show you certain things, okay? I want to travel a road of peace at this time in my life. So everybody is at a different phase in life. So we got to respect that space and understand that everybody that smile with you and laugh with you is not necessarily your friend, but you still have to have human love for them. That don't mean you like what they do. That don't mean you condone what they do. But respect them as a person. Love them. But that don't mean you got to hang out with them. That don't mean you got to be fronting. That don't mean you got to pretend like you like them. If you don't like me, you don't appreciate anything that I do, stay out my face. Stay out my inbox. Stay off my page. Stay off my social network. Stop being nosy and be gone. Be away from me. Because if you fake, honey, and you don't like me, you don't like what I do, you don't like what I represent, keep my name out your mouth and stay away from me. Stay off. Block me. Okay? Unfriend me. Unfollow me. That's what we have to do. Why people going on people's pages and all that kind of stuff and they don't even like the person? You're just being nosy. You can prevent a whole lot of hurt and a whole lot of drama by minding your business and staying away from people that you don't like their ways of life. You don't like what they're doing. Okay? So that we can save our own self some pain. Okay? Stop being nosy. Stop digging into stuff. If you don't like a person, pray for them, stay your distance, okay? If you have to work with that person, you have a working relationship and nothing more, period. That don't mean you do go by frowning and don't speak, but extra conversation, cut that, okay? Because you're being fake now. And you know the person don't like you, so why is you talking to them? So that's why I say people that I feel a certain kind of way about, not that I hate them, but I feel a certain kind of way about, I limit the conversation. How you doing? Smile or wave. and keep it moving. When you go into extra conversation or you make that person a part of your conversation, now you messing up. So realize the safe route is traveling solo. But if you're a people person and you like to be around a lot of people, choose the type of people you want to be around and be careful and stay prayed up regardless. Because even though I travel alone most of the time, honey, I have to stay prayed up because people continually have my name in their mouth. So, you still got to stay prayed up regardless and keep the armor of God on you. I love you, and I'm telling you nothing but the truth. Everybody's not going to choose to travel solo like I am, but just stay prayed up with whatever you do and put God first. And everything should be okay. The road will not be easy. That's why you have to have the armor of God on you. Okay? God bless you. I love you, and I'm on my way to church. And please come back for session number 51 here on 3LG. Peace.